If you're also beginning a new home search, it's natural to wonder whether you have the salary to afford a $1 million home. You may also be wondering about the average mortgage on a $1 million house. In this video, we'll look at ways you can afford to buy a $1 million home and things to consider if you do. 1. Target your annual salary income. Generally speaking, if you want to buy a $1 million home, you'll need at least $225,384 in annual household income to make the payments. A person's down payment and interest rate determine how much money you need to put down on a house. For a small down payment, you'll need to earn nearly $300,000 a year to cover your housing costs, but for a large one, you'll only need to earn about $207,000. According to the 2836 rule, you should not spend more than 28% of your gross monthly income on housing costs or 36% of your total debt payments. Set a goal to acquire a jumbo loan. Your ability to gain loan approval for a loan on a $1 million house is influenced by several requirements: a down payment and closing costs of approximately $224,223, a credit score of at least 700, and savings to cover 6 to 12 months of mortgage payments. Because it's more than the maximum loan amount allowed in your area, your mortgage will likely be considered a jumbo loan. Normally, the cap is $510,400, but in some expensive markets, it rises to $765,600. Jumbo loans have more stringent requirements than conventional or government-backed mortgages, as you might expect. You might also consider these factors: own, down payment size; 2, debt-to-income ratio; 3, credit score. Know the tax implications associated with a $1 million house. You may be surprised to learn how the purchase of a new home affects your tax situation. Due to the $750,000 cap on the mortgage interest tax deduction, borrowers who put down less than $250,000 could see their tax savings eroded each year until their primary loan total falls below $750,000. In year 5, U.S. tax cost for New York $1 million property is amounting to 15.5%. There will be no mortgage interest deduction for renting out your home if you choose to do so, but there are various deductions available to landlords that could result in tax-free rental income. This can be challenging because finding renters and managing a rental property are both time-consuming tasks. Plan for the expenses beyond the mortgage. It's critical to consider all monthly expenses in addition to the mortgage when making a budget for living in a $1 million house. Consider the following points. Most lenders require that you purchase private mortgage insurance if you put down less than 20% of the purchase price of your property. This can cost up to 1% of the loan's total value. If you put down $200,000, you'd be looking at an extra $375 in monthly payments if you want to pursue a $1 million house. You may be charged monthly homeowners association (HOA) fees if your neighborhood has one. HOAs have additional rules and codes that are agreed upon by the residents when they move into the home. Undergoing certain home improvement projects or renovations may also necessitate getting permission from the appropriate authorities before work can begin. Do not forget that there are maintenance expenses. Maintenance expenses for a typical $1 million house range from $833 to $3,333 per month, but these costs will rise as the house gets older. 1 to 4% of your home's worth should be set aside for maintenance expenses each year. To put that in context, the reserve set aside for maintenance costs for a $1 million house would be $40,000. Maintenance is the highest unplanned expense that most homeowners face. Homeowners can potentially accumulate more maintenance fees than they can afford if they don't set aside money regularly dedicated to these costs.